Norse in Wonderland, when nothing's as it seems. Norse in Wonderland, the truth will haunt your dreams. Norse in Wonderland, when nothing's as it seems. Norse in Wonderland, the truth will haunt your dreams.
Welcome back to Norse in Wonderland, where the questions are never small and the rabbit holes never end. Today's side quest takes us into the clouds, literally, for one of the strangest aviation stories you've probably never heard. But first, let's lighten it up before we get too high in the conspiracy altitude. They say flying is the safest way to travel, unless the voice in your head starts speaking fluent German and you barely pass Spanish class. If I disappear mid-episode, it's not because of turbulence. It's because someone intercepted my frequency and decided they'd sound better than me. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot. Then I found out how expensive flying lessons were, so I settled for conspiracy theory podcasts instead. Way cheaper, still dangerous. On June 21st, 1976, a 23-year-old student pilot named Rafael Perez took off from Mexico City in a small Cessna 150. He was on a solo training flight, the kind where you stay close to your home airport, practice maneuvers, and return before the fuel gauge gets nervous. His destination that day was not Acapulco, and in a plane like his, it wouldn't have been possible to get there quickly even if he had tried. But shortly after takeoff, Rafael vanished from radar. Air traffic controllers simply lost him. Then about an hour later, he reappeared. Not back at the training field, but over Acapulco, a trip that normally takes 3 hours in that type of aircraft. Even at maximum throttle, with perfect conditions, the flight time and the fuel range didn't add up. Something about this journey was impossible unless something, or someone, had intervened. When Rafael made radio contact near Acapulco, controllers noticed something unusual right away. He wasn't just speaking Spanish anymore. He began speaking in fluent German and English, languages he didn't know. The voice claimed to be using him like a microphone to deliver a message. The message itself was both simple and chilling. We are beings of the universe. You are not alone. We are watching you. The voice didn't explain who we were or why they had chosen Rafael as a mouthpiece. It offered no demands, no coordinates, no detailed warnings, just a vague confirmation that humanity has company, and that company is keeping an eye on us. Some people see this story as an alien possession event, but when you look closely at the timing, in the middle of the Cold War's experimental aerospace boom, a different theory emerges. The idea is that Rafael may have crossed paths with an advanced human-made craft, possibly testing exotic propulsion or interception capabilities. In that scenario, Rafael's Cessna could have been intercepted mid-air, either boosted to extreme speeds or even transported through a rapid relocation method. The possession might have been a carefully engineered communications trick, patching a voice into his frequency to make it sound as though it was coming from him. Using "we are watching you" and vague space being language would be a perfect way to bury the truth under UFO folklore. No one would take it seriously, but the real technology would remain hidden in plain sight. When Rafael landed in Acapulco, I'm going to struggle with that this whole episode, he had no memory of anything unusual. His physical and mental health were fine, and no substances were found in his system. Despite that, he never flew again. Whether from trauma, intimidation, or both, his aviation career ended that day. There was no official investigation, no debrief released to the public, and no media frenzy. His story simply faded into the shadows, kept alive only in the UFO forums and aviation mystery circles. If this was genuine alien contact, why would the message be so vague and lacking in detail? If this was an advanced human technology test, what would be the purpose of choosing a civilian pilot as the subject? How many other strange aviation events have been quietly dismissed because the story was too unbelievable to be taken seriously? And in that train of thought, actually, when I started this episode and noticed he was in a Cessna, that's exactly the same type of airplane that another pilot who went missing was flying when they went missing. Because I remember when I was watching that episode on BuzzFeed Unsolved with my husband, I was like, I bet you that's the same type of airplane as the pilot who, like, got leapfrogged through time or something in my episode. And what do you know? It could be. Today's affirmation. My voice is my own. My path is my own. I move through every space unseen by those who wish to harm me and untouched by any force that does not serve my highest good. In the end, whether the voice that spoke through Rafael Perez came from beyond the stars or beyond a hangar door, it left behind a puzzle with missing pieces, and one man who stepped into the clouds and came back changed. And as always, I'll leave you with this. If anything happens to me, it's more than a convenient accident and I didn't do it myself. I'm happy, healthy, and cautious.
Chasing the rabbit, down we must go. Where does it end? Nobody knows. Hurry up now, we're running out of time. You better keep up or get left behind. Norse in Wonderland, where nothing's as it seems. Norse in